Okay, I'll share my screen.
Okay.
Okay, today we are going to talk about SAP Security and GRC. Okay, anything you know about SAP Security and GRC, Anil? Anything?
Uh, it means that okay, in SAP we have like so different roles, right? Different modules. So each module, some people are working, right? So just so we need to give that the access control and everything.
Okay, and do you know about GRC?
GRC is the governance, risk and compliance. I think so we have to do like some set of rules,
Okay. Uh,
but I know only a little bit more
okay,
about
okay, no problem. I'll give one concept for you. Okay, just to remember. Again, we are going details in details. Okay. Okay, just assume this is our system. Okay, just assume. Okay, this is our ECC system, and
it.
this is our ECC system, and this is our GRC system. Okay, so actually, what happens before coming to the GRC? So in ECC, I mean in security, what we are doing usually, what we are creating the users. Okay, users in the sense all the employees working in the company. There are again five types of users are there. I'll discuss later. But users here, the employees who are working in the organization. Again, what we are doing, we are assigning the roles to them. There are different roles like manager roles or some end user roles kind of thing. We are assigning the roles to them. Okay, but what happens? What we are doing is we are connecting these two systems each other. Okay, this configuration what we are doing here, this is limited to ECC only. Okay, this is not doing in GRC. We are just connecting ECC to the GRC. So what we are doing, we are monitoring, we are monitoring sorry we are monitoring and we are controlling the users and roles, user access and roles risk. We are going to control and monitor. Okay, this is the concept. I mean, for example, what happened before, why the GRC came into the picture. See, what happens, for example, it was happened, there are a lot of cases are lodged in US. For example, see, just assume that you are working in vendor management team. Just assume you are working as a vendor management team and you have authorization of to create vendor in the system, and also you have authorization of making payment. Okay, so example, you are my close friend. Okay, so what you are doing, you are taking my company and you are registering in your company as a vendor. Okay, and then what you are doing, also you are doing payment to me. Okay, there is no control over that. Okay, to whom you are going to take, why you are going to take, and why you are making payment. There is nothing else, because there are lot of transaction happens in the company. So meanwhile they are catching this fraud. It will take a lot of time to them manually to do so. Okay, for that reason what they are doing, no, you should not give any kind of role. You should not give the roles, unnecessary roles, to one guy. Example,
Okay.
if you are creating the vendor, okay, you have the privileges or permissions, you should not give privilege for doing payment to them. Okay, who it will control? So manual, earlier yeah, earlier manual we are controlling, but now the GRs will tell you, okay, it's a very high risk, you should not give this role. It seems very high risk, giving this two role to one person is a very high risk. So manually it is taking a lot of time, but GRC on the spot it will catch. Okay, whether you are giving
So
this role to this employee or guy, that is high risk or medium risk, okay, or it's a low risk, it will catch. Okay, that's the reason what happened. There are many cases are lodged. Then what the US government done is, especially whoever implementing SAP software, they should implement GRC. Or else,
okay.
if you are not installing GRC, then we are not going to provide license for your business. Even whatever industry, whatever industry you are, you are into, it could be travel, manufacturing. But if you are not, implementing the GRC, then we are not giving permissions or license to run a business in our country. That's the reason it's a compulsory in every organization company. If any company are installing SAP, they have to install GRC. Okay, security should be there in any module. The security should be there. Even if you go to the what is that, Microsoft, again you have system
Okay.
admin. System admin are there, right? These are all also like working as a same security admin. But the GRC is a separate module, the where you can monitor, you can control the roles and responsibility of the user, and it control whether you are having high risk or medium risk or low risk when you are assigning a particular role to the user. Okay, this is the concept.
Okay.
Actually, this is the concept, just briefly. But now today we are going to see what exactly, some details. Okay. Okay, SAP Security and GRC. Okay, now today in these sessions, what we are going to discuss is why securing SAP system is important, and what risk we prevent, why we are going to prevent the risk. Okay, how GRC tools helps organizations stay compliant in the sense, like, you heard about the SOX compliance. Did you heard about SOX compliance, US following? Like, it's,
No.
yeah, it's like working in agreement with particular rules and orders. I mean, you should compliance with the rules and regulation of the government. Okay, then why SAP security matters? For example, the very the layman language exam they given here. Imagine if an employee who just left the company still had access to sensitive financial data. Okay, this could lead to fraud or data theft. So SAP security ensure that only the right people have a right access to the right person at the right time. Okay, so suppose the one guy is working, but now he left the company, but still is having access, but he can misutilize those data, right? That's the reason the SAP, what it ensures, you have to give the access to those who is the right person at the right time at the right place. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what is SAP security definition? SAP security controls who can access what is in the system, what is in the SAP system. Okay, for example, if anybody want, like, if the third person is there, okay, if the third person who is working in PeopleSoft and any other technology or sector, he want to, he cannot, he cannot log into the system, he cannot access your SAP system. Okay, so it control the access. Now, see, there are very two important concepts in SAP security. One is authentication, another is authorization. The first one is authentication. Authentication in the sense, like, simply, for example, see, if you are accessing your Gmail, so you are inserting your email ID and password, right? So the system will authenticate whether your email ID password is matching or not. You are the correct person or not. You already created the account or not, right? And if the authentication is, is mapping, I mean, it is showing correctly, then only it will allow you to go inside. So here also in authentication, whenever we are logging into the system, it asking the username and password. That is called authentication. Okay, so verifying if the person is real and authorized to log in or not. Example, like, showing your ID card to enter an office, or you can say, like, whenever you log into your Facebook account, social media account, or Gmail account, you have to enter your Gmail account, like, user ID and password. Only then it allow you to go inside. That is called authentication. Now the very important concept, every time you need to remember this terminology, authorization. It's a very important concept, authorization. Okay, so authorization, I can, I'm telling you one meaning. Authorization in the sense, you are giving the permissions or privileges. Okay, for example, after login, what task the user can perform? For example, if you are logging to your Gmail account, you can see the inbox, you can see your spam box, you can see the multiple things in your Gmail account, right? So what authorizations you having, what permissions, what privileges you are having once you log in into the system, that is called authorization. Okay, I'll give an example here. For example, I'll just remove this. See, in our SAP security, we are using one T code, that is called SSU01. Okay, this is to create user. Okay, I mean, user maintenance. This is, there is one T code we are using. We'll learn this later. SU01 is a T code, that is user maintenance. What we are doing here, for example, what we are doing, we are creating the user. Okay, we are creating the user from only one transaction. From one transaction, what we are doing, we are creating the user, we are modifying the user, or we can say we are changing the user. Okay, we can display the user. I mean, we can display the user. We can lock the user, lock or unlock. We can lock or unlock the user. Okay, we can change the password. We can change the password. Okay, like this. There are many things are there. Okay, so modifying, changing, display, lock, even you can tell delete also there. Deleting the user, for example. Okay, these are what, see, I am giving you privileges. These are our permissions, right? These are our permissions. Like suppose if I assign this T code to you or someone, so he can create the user, he can modify the user, he can display the user, he can lock, unlock and change the password and deleting user. But what I will do here, what I will do for Anil, I will give only these privileges, only two privileges, permissions, only this one. So this is what I am giving the authorization. I am giving what? Authorization. For creating and changing the user, that's it. That is called authorization. We can say
Not
permission.
for like any delete something.
Yes, permission you can call, privileges we can call. Yeah, you can do it only creating the user or modifying. But you are not authorized to, you can see the display the user, lock, unlock, you cannot do. You cannot change the password, you cannot delete the user. Because I am giving limited permissions, limited authorization to you. If you only, even you are using what? SU01. Again, what I am doing, SU01, I am giving this transition code to another one. For example, Sunil. Okay, now what happened, these privileges I am giving to Sunil, but he cannot create and modify. He can display the user, lock the user, change the user, but these four privileges I am giving to the Sunil. Okay, now this is called what? This is called authorization I am giving. In the same T code, I am giving the authorization for same T code. Even you have access for SU01, he is Sunil also having access for SU01, but the authorization is different. Okay, this is very important concept, because every time you are hearing this word every time. Okay, that's the reason. It's a very important concept. That's why I'm giving some examples. Okay, for example, here a cashier can see billing screen but not HR salaries. There is a cashier, he can see the billing screen but he cannot see the salary of the HR people, because you are restricting him to see the HR salaries. Okay, you are not giving the privileges or permissions. Okay, see, this is the
Mohammed,
difference. Huh?
Mohammed.
Yeah, tell.
So, but how exactly we can know that this person is having only so this type of the privileges? Can we
Yes.
get like any document?
Yes. I'll tell you. See,
Uh,
whenever in your company, whenever, for example, see, you are a security GRC consultant. Okay, so whenever you are working in the company, so they are hiring some end users. Okay, where
yeah,
client side. Remember, these end users are from client side.
that's physical engineers.
Yeah, client side. Not, I'm not talking about your side. For example, if you are working in Accenture, you are the developer. Okay, you are into software. But I'm talking about, for example, if you are supporting for Cisco System Inc. There is Cisco System Inc. USA. So I'm talking about the end user of Cisco System Inc. USA. Okay, these guys, what they are not giving all the permissions, privileges. Okay, they are giving limited access to their end user. Okay, they will tell you, for example, see, for example, if the John, there is an employee John. Okay, today he joined the company. Now his manager or leader or his is a director, whatever, the reporting manager, he will tell you what privileges you have to give when John is joining the company. What roles you need to assign. For example, if you are assigning SU01 roles, so whether you are going to give only create and change or other thing has to give, they will tell you what to do. Okay, you are getting, I will show the tickets. Okay, I will show this kind of tickets to you. Okay, I'll show the tickets to you, how the access, how you are getting this kind of tickets in the real time. I'll show the tickets. But understand this one, you are not going to judge, okay, what privileges or permission you have to give. The end user, I mean, you are talking to the client, right? So they will tell you, see, one more John is joining in your company, so you have to give these privileges. This you have to assign, SU01 T code. They will tell you SU assign T code. Okay, then go give only privilege, create and change. That's it.
Oh,
They will tell on the basis of this request you need to create one user like a John in the in your system. Then you need to assign roles like SU01 T code and create and change. Only these privileges or permissions you have to give. So you are getting everything. See, you cannot change the system, you cannot give until unless any kind of authorizations or roles. You should not assign anyone or any roles to them, any roles to any time, until unless if you are getting request from your client. Okay,
okay.
you should have document, otherwise you cannot do anything. Okay, even you cannot put a dot also in your system.
Yeah.
Okay, now you understand this. Okay, got this point, Anil? Got this point?
Yeah, I got this one right.
Yeah.
Authentication, authorization.
Yeah. Okay, but the last question is what? How we are going to decide? Your client will tell what privileges or permission you have to give. On the basis of that, because see, one more thing I'll tell you. See, I was working in Cisco System Inc. earlier in Accenture, in Oracle 11 I was working. So at that time, what happened? For example, I'll show you one thing here. See, in vendor management, there is a team vendor management. Okay, so the process was P2P, procurement to pay process. In vendor management, there are two members. Okay, again in invoice processing, there are around some 20 to 25 members. Okay, but privileges are different. Even they are working in invoice process, but permissions are different. Okay, again example, there is one more team called employee reimbursement. Okay, because whenever they want some kind of some this thing like travel expenses, TADA, so they are there is a team to settle down those things. So that is again some around some 5 to 6, I guess, 5 to, sorry, not 5, some 10 around employees. Okay, and again there is one team called payment. The payment, they are doing only payment, they are running payment batches. So here around like there are 4 people. So you are giving access to the same T code, but you are not giving all the privileges, because the one thing is handling by many people. So you are not giving, see, suppose if your team is 5 member, for example, there are the example sales order, sales team you have 5 people, 5 employees. You cannot give the same permissions or privilege to the same 5 people, right? Okay, the one person what they will do, he will do the sales order. Okay, that's it. Another person what will do, he will do the delivery. Another person what he will do, he will do the billing, right? Another person what he is doing the payment. So no, the one guy is not handling all the things. That's the reason we are giving authorization, permission, privileges, to different employees. Okay, now the third concept of SAP security is, one is authentication, second one is authorization, and third one is roles and profiles. So what is the roles? Roles is a collection of permissions again. See, I told you example here, sales role allows creating sales order but not modifying financial entries. The same thing here, the role will describe you what kind of privileges or permissions you have to give to the user. Okay, okay, this is a very important thing in your SAP security, because in SAP security we are dealing about user administration and role administration, two concept, two component. So in the role, what exactly you're doing, whenever you are creating the role, you are assigning the T code, but in that T code, whether what kind of privileges or permissions you are giving to the user. Okay, so that will described by who? Described by roles and profiles we are going to configure. Okay, for example, okay, for example here, the same thing I already told you. Okay, now the fourth concept is user master record. There are many master records are there. For example, metal master record, customer master record. Okay, these are all master records. So here the user master record, in the sense all the detail of the username, password. So what are the roles you are assigned to them, what are the profiles you are assigned to them. Okay, these are called like user master record. For example, your office profile having your login, your department and your permissions. For example, here there are different users are there. So different users having different privileges, different permissions, different roles and responsibilities, right? So this is all called, whatever the data you are going to maintain in the system regarding the user, that is called user master record. For example, here you can see this is the SAP screen. You can see the title Mr. or Mrs. or Measure, last name, first name, academic title, okay, function, department, room number, language, telephone, mobile number, fax, email. These are all like related to the user details. These are all called user master record. Okay, user master record.
Yeah.
Now, see, I told you
So,
there are. Huh, tell
so
me.
master record means like the main record, right?
The
So it
main,
tells everything about.
yes, main
Yeah.
record related to your user. For example, like
Okay.
user details and what are the roles you are going to assign to that particular user. These are all belongs to master record. It's like a we are telling master key. We are using the master key, or that kind of, it will work like it will work like that only, master key. So it's a master record. So
Okay.
we are using, we are using this concept like while we are migrating the data from non SAP system to SAP or SAP system to SAP system. Okay,
Okay.
because we are segregating the data, master record, transaction data record, like that. Okay, then there is a format from where, see, for example, see, there are 5,000 employees are there. Example, there are 5,000 employees are there. 5,000 employees, if you are creating one by one in your system, how much time it will take?
Yeah.
Lot of time, right? So what we'll do, just assume that I am using, my company using Oracle 11i before. Now I am switching to SAP. Now you are into SAP security team. So there are already 5,000 employees, as 5,000 users are there in my company. You cannot create one by one, right? What I will do, I'll create a master record on sheet, Excel sheet I'll create. There is a format we are following with the help of technical guy. So we are using that format and we are uploading 5,000, and 5,000 once I upload, the 5,000 employees or users are available in SAP system. Okay, with the help of technical guy we are migrating the data. Okay, that time we are segregating, it's a master record, it's a master data, it's a transaction data. Okay, because the master data is having a different format for uploading or migrating the data, and transaction data is having a different format and different technical names. So we are using the table fields and all, and then we are migrating the data.
Okay.
Okay, I told you like there are two very important concepts we are going to learn in SAP security. One is user administration, second one is role administration. Okay, only two component. Okay, user administration in the sense like we are going to create the user, we are locking, unlocking, we are deleting the user, we are displaying the user, we are changing the password. So all the things related to user master, that is called user administration. I mean, we are managing, we are administrating the user credential in the SAP system. Okay, so for example, new joiners are added in the SAP system and leavers are locked immediately. For example, if anybody is leaving the company, so we are using the terminology terminating the employee. So it's terminated, even he is resigning, but we are using the word terminating. Okay, so even the employee is resigning in the company, but we are using the terminology he is terminated employee. In the sense, he is already terminated the employee. Then what we are doing, we are locking we are locking the user, because he cannot access again, he cannot log in our system again. Okay, so this is what we are doing in the user administration. Okay, so centrally manage user data. Now the second part is very important part, and see, I'll tell you one concept here. See, user administration, whenever you are going for interview, in user administration they will ask around some 20 to 20% of questions. That's it, interview questions.
Okay.
But the 80% of the questions they're asking on role administration.
Okay.
Okay, remember this, because that's why the role administration is very important, because there are some we are creating a lot of roles. There are many types of roles are there. We are assigning the roles like depend upon the request we are getting from the client. Okay, so the roles again nothing but you are giving permissions or privileges as per your client requirement. Okay, now what we are doing here, so designing the roles with minimum necessary permission. So we are not giving permissions, all permission to one guy. So the client will decide what permissions they have to do. Okay, so principle of least privilege they are following. I mean, we are giving least privilege because these are, we are giving the least privileges, again it's as per the client requirement. Client will tell, okay, give only two privileges, give only four permissions, give only two permissions. Okay, we are not giving all the permissions, or 10 or 15 permissions or roles to one guy. We are not providing. For example, here, giving finance officer access to invoice related screen, not full systems access. I cannot give the full system access. Okay, so this kind of, that will tell you like, we are not going to assign every roles and responsibility. We are assigning limited roles to user as per the client requirement. Now for example here, for HR administrator, what we are doing: organization management permissions, organization information permission, and workplace permissions. But IT administrator, again, we are giving only security permissions, compliance permissions, product setting permissions, workplace permissions. But in culture operation administration, we are giving organization culture permissions, organization copyright permissions, calendar permissions. But for help desk admin, help desk permissions only. So here, if you are seeing all the four people, the four users, we are giving different roles. We are giving all, not, we are not giving all the roles to the one person. We are segregating the roles and responsibility. Okay, that is also called one word, SOD, segregating of duties. I mean, we are segregating the roles and responsibility to the different users. We are not giving all the privileges, all the permissions, all the roles and responsibility to one person. We are segregating the duties. Remember this word, Anil: SOD. SOD in the sense segregation of duties. This is very important terminology we are using in GRC many times. Okay, now whenever we are working in SAP security, there we can see the lot of challenges we will face. Challenges in the sense, even like the company, even like as a security consultant, we are facing a lot of challenges or problems or difficulties we are finding. What the difficulties? Excessive access. For example, say your client is request you for somebody, assign some 10 to 15 rows or 20 rows, 25 rows to one guy. Okay, if you doing so, so giving user more access than needed. For example, out of 10 to 15 roles, he is not using all the roles. He is using only 5 rows every day. Okay, out of 15 rows, he is using only 5 rows. He is not using 10 rows. Simply. So this is a challenge for us. So what happened, whenever we are connecting the GRC tell us, okay, why you are giving again extra 10 to him. Segregate your roles and responsibility to others. Okay, immediately it will give us a high risk. Don't give this. It will alert you. Okay, for example, a purchase clerk with access to release payment. See, this is a high risk. Example, there is a purchase clerk. I mean, his responsibility is what? He has to get the purchase order. He has to create the purchase orders from the vendor. But already he is also doing what? Releasing the payment. He is not authorized to do so. For example, if you are purchase clerk and I am your best friend, so if you, by seeing my company name, you can easily release the payment without any approval. So no, it should not happen. The purchase clerk should not have a permission to release the payment. If you do so, the system will tell it's a high risk. You should not give. It's a risk for the company. There is risk for, like, he can do the fraud. He can do misutilize your data. Don't do this. Okay, this is what the challenges we are going to face in security. For example, see, instead of giving one card, I am giving some 4 to 5 access card to you. So this is what you are this is what for example, I told you now. So 10 to 15 rows you are giving, it's like same you are giving some 10 to 15 cards to him. Okay, so this is not the the standard rules or standard format we need to follow when we are giving any kind of security for our company. Okay, for example, see, we are seeing in the bank, this is a picture of the bank. So everybody is working, every employees are working, but all the roles and responsibilities are different, right? For example, the woman sitting here, she can create only the bank account. Okay, the person sitting in the middle, he can do the loan as a loan kind of things. Another person, he is only responsible for like kind of like some only small loans, housing loans, and he dispersing the payment, giving the permission to disperse the payment. Okay, right? So this is what we are segregating the duties. We are segregating the duties. We are not giving all the roles to the one person, or we are segregating the duties. Okay, the same way, if you are going to the passport office, again passport office, the one, every employee is doing their different role, right? Because we segregated the roles. We are not giving every role to the one person. We are segregating the roles. Okay, this you need to. Okay, now see, you got this segregation of duties. So this is a very important topic. Like, we are facing the lot of challenges, especially in GRC, because GRC will tell you like segregation of duties. SOD we are going to configure in GRC only. Okay, so in a security, what we are doing, we are assigning the roles, we are assigning the permissions, but whether those roles and permissions are risky or not, that will be, you know, intimate by GRC only. Okay. Now, segregation of duties is the short form is SOD. So, no single individual has complete control over a particular process or function. Now, you have seen that in bank many people are doing other roles. Okay, but the what the segregation of duties tell, okay, you should not give all the roles to the single person. Instead of, you segregate the duties among the users or among the employees in your company. Okay, so it will give the it will give the warning. Now, you are separating of the duties. I mean, separation of duties. What is that? Separation of duty that involves dividing task and responsibility among the different individuals to reduce the risk of errors, fraud, and unauthorized actions. Okay, by ensuring that no single person has control over all the aspect of any critical business process, organization can enhance their security and compliance posture. Okay, what do you mean by critical business process? Do you know what you mean by critical business process?
I think so. That's main functionality. So where
Exact.
the business, yeah.
Exactly. See, the main functionality from which is impacting on your business. Okay, suppose an example, the if you are giving one privileges which releasing the sales order or releasing the purchase order and releasing the payment. Okay, this is a critical for you, for your business, because going amount outside, you are disbursing the amount from your company, so that is critical for you. And for example, say if you are you are working in the like company, sometimes the server will go down, that is critical for us. If the server is go down, everybody is sitting calm. Okay, that will impact on your business. Okay, then your client will tell why the server is down. They will, you know, they will they will give you penalty for for them for that. Okay, so the functionality which is impacting negatively impacting on your business process, that is called critical business process. Okay. Now here there are
Yeah.
different. Do you know what is a sales process? This is a sales process. Actually, see, we are going
Sales
to,
process.
yeah, we are seeing the
No
order.
more.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, this is given some this thing. I'll tell you. See, again, what I mean to say here is, see, again, there are different processes are there in sales order. So in sales order, different processes are there and different teams are working in here. Like order received, there are some 4 to 5 people. Order processing, 1 or 2 people. Inventory allocation, again 1 or 2 people. So in the all the process, some people, there are some teams are working. So you are segregating your roles and responsibility among them. So one person not doing all the things. You are segregating the duties. You are segregating the permissions among the users in different organization in different business process. Okay. Okay. Do you know sales and sales process? Do you know?
So basically, I used to work on project long back, Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
But I know this how the order received, the invoicing. I used to work on that Oracle app something
Okay. Oracle
long back.
11, I guess. Oracle 11, I.
Yeah. But long back, 10 years
Long back.
ago.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Okay. Now this is one kind of procurement, like procurement cycle, P2P we can say. For example, like when we are identifying the needs, whether what kind of needs you require. I mean, do you require raw material or do you require a finished product, like a spare parts to, to make a bike. Okay, you are identifying the needs, then you are sourcing the vendors, which vendor is the best, which vendor is providing the metal on time, which vendor is, the payment terms are good. Okay, trust, we can trust it on the vendor. So we are sourcing the vendors, depend upon the quotation what he is sending, then we are selecting the vendors, then we are requesting for the purchase order, purchase, then he is on the base of purchase request, it's like for inquiry for us. Okay, so once he done the purchase requisition and once he accept their quotation, then we are creating the purchase order, then again order confirmation, then we are receiving the goods whatever we raise the purchase order for that, then we are getting the invoice from them, then we are processing the payment. I mean, we are giving the payment to them. Okay, then again we are supplier performance evaluation we are doing, that is a different one. So this is the like a normal procurement cycle what we are facing, because you need to understand this process, because like you are getting the tickets from any kind of department. It could be sometime you are getting the tickets from the ABAP team, sometime you are getting the tickets from the like the people who are working in procurement to pay, and especially like he is working in goods receipt, he is working in invoice processing, somebody working in sourcing, somebody working in PR. okay, and somebody working in like here order processing, somebody working in picking and packing. That's the reason you should know at least this process, at least not in depth, at least you should know some process, okay, especially sales order and procurement. I'll tell you one this thing, sales order, just simply one I'll talk to you. Just a minute, I got a call. Hello, Shana. Okay, okay, if I
Okay, Muhammad, no
okay,
problem.
I got call from the real estate agent. He is telling he is not forwarded the document. Okay. Anyhow, like see a
Yeah,
simple
yeah,
sales
it's
order
okay.
process. I'll tell you simple sales order. For example, what happened? Just assume that we are going to inquiry about the product. For example, I need raw material, or I need finished material. Okay, finished material could be anything. So I do the inquiry. So based on the inquiry, what he's done, he sent a quotation for us. So quotation from the different vendors I got. Okay, now got customers. Now quotation I selected. Then based on the quotation, I have given the sales order. Okay, then what I have to do, I have to do delivery. So before delivery, what I need to do, I need to do picking and packing in this one. Okay, in picking and packing we are doing simultaneously in delivery process only. Okay, now once we done, what we are doing the invoicing. Okay, we are sending the invoice to the customer. Then what we are receiving the payment. That is called account receivable. Okay, this is the simple process of sales order: inquiry, quotation, sales order, delivery. In delivery we are doing picking and packing, then invoice, then payment. This is a simple, best you need to understand, because you should know sometime whenever he's asking about some roles and regulations, some roles to be given to some user, you should know at least. Okay, now the segregation of duties conflict here. Example, there is a one lady is there, so you are she is the requesting, but if you request anything, somebody has to do some approval, and the approval and request both go to one person to make a payment. Okay, this is what segregation of the duties. You are not giving the all the three permissions privileges to one guy. You are segregating the rules. You are segregating the roles to the different user. Okay. Okay, now the purpose of segregation of duties is to prevent fraud, errors, and other malicious activities by spreading or assigning the responsibility for a process or function across multiple individuals. So we have to give those kind of roles which is not make us to that conflict the segregation of duties. I mean, if you are giving the more roles or more privileges, it is cause to fraud, errors, and malicious activities. Okay, now another challenge we are facing is password management. So password management, again we are like weak or unchanged password can be exploited. For example, some people are using example 1234, they are using India 123. Okay, some they are using some their first name last name. These are all these are all weak password. Okay, so if they are maintaining the weak password, again system give alarm for us like, okay, he is maintaining the weak password, so you should not give. That's the reason we are some parameter we are using when they are setting the password. We are giving the parameter. For example, minimum one character alphanumeric, one is okay. For example, like alphanumeric or capital small letter like that. Okay, so this is a weak password. Yeah, he should not maintain. Again, unchanged password in the sense like every 1 month or 2 month or 3 month he has to change the password. Okay, that's why you are getting the lot of emails from the user. Okay, I my password is expired, please set out to the new password. Okay, these are the challenges we are facing every day, because one thing is they are using the very simple password that will affect us. Second is you are getting some daily you are getting what is that, the request from the user that his password is expired. You need to set the new password and give it to them and to change the password later. Okay, this is the challenges. Second is audit finding. For example, if improper access is found, for example you are giving a improper access to somebody, the company can face legal and financial penalties. Again, it depend upon the client to client. Okay, for example, like I have seen this in Cisco System Inc. Okay, they are very strict in the audit. Okay, if you are not following this, if you are not following this, they have to pay the legal action. For example, see what happened in Accenture. For example, I told you one team is called vendor management. Okay, whenever they are entering the vendor, they have to submit enrollment form. Okay, with form number, with the W9 form.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with W9 form with bank details. Okay, so whenever they are enrolling any new vendor in the system, they have to fill all the enrollment form with the W9 form and with bank details. Okay, for example, see, if simply anybody, based on only, they're not mentioned W9 form, just only enrollment form and with bank details like he given. Now you, what happened, somebody's enroll the vendor, so it will catch in the editing. They will catch in the editing, and they will ask you why you are going to create this vendor. He is not submitted W9 form. Got my point? They are very strict. They are very strict, to in the editing. Whatever you are doing, you should have some supporting document. Without supporting document, you cannot do anything. Okay, you cannot enter, even you cannot put a dot in the system. Okay, this is what.
So how exactly, Muhammad, how exactly we're gonna receive the documents
Which
from the
document? This one.
client or
Yeah.
project side?
See, they will tell you. For example, if any new employee is joining, okay, there is a
Okay.
form. We are also using the form. We are also using joining form. I'll show you the joining form in the, when I was talking about user SU01T code. Okay, they are also giving the form, and that form should be filled by end user, and it is signed by your manager or some
Mm-hmm.
authorized person. Only then, when once the form is filled out and signed by authorized person, that should be in the PDF
Mm-hmm.
form, and the request should be come from your manager or your team leader. Okay, for example, I'll,
Okay.
I'll show this one. For example, see, your manager, what, for example, your TL, what they will do, he will send on request to you. For example, one person called Sunil, he is joining the company. So he need to assign the form, plus authorized signatures in that form. And that request should be come from your TL
Mm-hmm.
only, TL or your manager only. Then only you are going to add in the system. Otherwise, you are not going to add, because you are following the compliance.
Mm-hmm.
You are following the compliance, you should not add. For example, see, you are working in the company, I just simply sent a message, okay, just add me, I am going to join your company. Can you add? Can you add?
Mm.
Anil, you are working in the company, I just simply send a message, add this person. You cannot add.
Okay.
You cannot add until unless.
No, so we cannot until we receive that any proper documentation and
Yes,
authorization
yes,
approvals.
yes. This, when you come to know these things, when you are joining the company, you are getting KT from your ex employee who is working in security and GRC. You, when you are joining the company, even your experienced guy, you are getting a KT in the sense knowledge transfer. KT you are getting from the your ex employees who is working in the company earlier, and then he already is resigning the company. So before he is going 1 month before
Mm-hmm.
you are joining the company, and he is giving the KT. He is going to tell you what is the process when you are, when the new, if you are creating the new employee in the system, what is the process. So he will tell, okay, don't whenever you are getting the request, you should always see whether the form is attached or not, signature by this person, for example, any signature, for example, like Radha plus for example Kanan, something, one person is there, these two people should be signed, plus it should be come from your manager. So manager or from your TL, only then you process, you add this employee in the system, he will tell. Okay, see,
Okay.
even if you are experienced now, the KT will be provided. Why? Because everybody's whatever the company we are working, right, all companies business process is different. The way of handling the tickets, the way of handling the access, the way of handling the request is different. That's the reason they are giving KT. That's the reason you are getting the KT from your ex employee or you are from the senior. Don't worry about that. I will
Mm-hmm.
show you the form, the real form I will show you. Okay, audit
Okay.
findings. If improper access is found, the company can face legal and financial penalties. That's the reason you should follow the rules and regulation. You should not, without the document, without the approval, without the signature, you cannot add any person in the system or change anything in the system. Okay, because whoever changing the system, the name, whoever login from the login ID, your login ID, he can see the login ID. So it will catch you who changed the system, who changed this thing, when he changed the date and time, everything will be recorded. Okay, so you cannot,
Exactly, audit trails.
yeah, auditor, you cannot tell, okay, I not done this. We cannot tell because everything will be recorded.
The
Okay.
system shows everything, so who
Yeah,
done
log,
all the history.
log files and all. Okay. Okay, governance, risk, compliance. Now we are talking about introduction to the SAP GRC. So what is exactly the GRC? SAP GRC is a set of tools that helps business manage risk, monitor compliance, and control access. So see, from this definition, what you can understand is we are not doing any kind of user administration, role administration in GRC. We are doing in ECC system. Okay, but GRC we are
So,
connecting to the ECC. From that tool, we are managing the risk. Whether you are whatever the roles you are giving, that is high risk, medium risk, or low risk. Whether I can give this access to this person or not. Now monitor the compliance. Example, if you are not following the rules whenever the new user is joining your company, whether you are following the rules or not, you are seeing the forms or not, signatures or not. So it's monitoring the compliance, and also control the access to whom you are giving, how many access you are giving, why you are giving, whether you got the request from the client or not. So everything will be monitored, controlled from the GRC system. Okay, why GRC? Without GRC, a manual checks are slow and prone to human error because there is chances the human can do error. So GRC automates and strengthens the security checks. Okay, you can say a lot of time it will check the things automatically. Okay, in SAP GRC, there are many models are there, but we are going to learn only access control. Okay, why we are not going to learn other process control, risk management, audit management? See, it depends upon your experience. If you are more than 8 to 10 years of experience, then you have to go for process control. Okay, again, you should be very good in at least you should have from 4 to 5 years of experience in access control. Only then you can handle the process control. And one thing I'll tell you, in process control in the world, I'm telling you, in the universe, I can say in the world, only the few people know about process control. Okay, not everybody. Only few people can know the process control. Remember this, yeah. Okay. Now we are going to learn
okay.
access control model. That is a very important model. Every company has to follow. But again, most of the company process control, risk management, audit management, most of the companies having these models or might not be having these models, but access control every company is having. Okay, because whenever we are
Okay.
installing GRC system, access control by default is installing. By default installing, I'll show you when I'll start SAP GRC. Okay,
Okay.
in access
So,
con.
Muhammad,
Mhm.
sorry. Okay. Sorry, Muhammad. Can you please go back one? Yeah. It means that so we need to learn only AC, right? So not like PC, RM, and so rest of AM.
Yes, yes. What I mean to say, first you get the job in access control. If you are real time access control, then if you get some certain kind of knowledge, only then you can go for process control. Okay.
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 So again, again all the things are depends upon your experience. Okay, but if you are telling access control and process control, it's very difficult for you to to crack the interview, because process control itself you will learn somewhere else, you will learn. The problem is like you cannot understand the concept until unless you are working in real time, working in access control. This is my experience. Okay, if somebody is somebody is teaching process control, you cannot until unless you know access control and you hardly work in access control.
So
and
that's okay.
and
Remote
most of the
process control.
companies,
One more.
most of the companies implemented process control or risk management, audit management or not, I don't know. Most of the companies not doing this, but access control is a mandatory minimum requirement. Whenever you are installing GRC, the access control will be installed. This is the option for you: process
Okay.
control, risk management, audit management. Again, if the company want this process control, risk management and audit management, they have to pay fee for that, license fee. It's a additional service from the GRC.
Okay. So in general question, Muhammad. So once I learn like so AC, right? Access control. If I want to learn like the rest of the three modules, how long does it take? Is it like me? Is like a lengthy process or?
See, I don't know exactly how much time it will take, but one thing I'll tell you. See, you first become master in access control. You gain some experience. Okay, by
Okay.
doing the job. For example, if you are working 1 year, if you get 1 year or 2 years of experience, okay, then start slowly learning process control. start slowly learning risk management and audit management. After 2 years, spend 1 year, 2 years, to transform yourself to in the process control, risk management, audit management. Then after 4 years, I mean after 2 years learning that, then you showcase this skill in your resume and then apply for another company.
Okay.
Okay, this is what I suggest you. Okay, now if you go now, it will make you, it is very difficult for you. Because why I'm telling this, I'll tell you the reason. I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll tell you on the reason. See, access control. Whenever you're doing access control, again, I told you every company is having different business process, right? Every company has different culture. Okay, the company is different from one company to one company. So access control, how you are map in your company, that describe, that help you to to learn process control and risk management and audit management. Okay, so first you get the job, first you learn, you become master in access control. You get the job first in that, because a lot of opportunity are there in access control only some like 80 to 90% of opportunity in access control only. Okay, some 20 to 30% may be like process control and all, but only 5% or 2% in risk management and audit management, because this risk management and audit management is controlled by some higher level management. Okay, suppose if you are having some 8 or 10 years of experience, real time experience, only then you can handle risk management and audit management. Okay.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, now in access control, I told you like we are going to learn about access control. In access control, again we have sub modules. Okay, the sub module in the sense like we are going to learn about access request management. So user request access via form, managers approval and kind of thing. So we are going to learn this access request management, that is called ARM. Access risk analysis automatically checks if request access causes SOD violation. In the sense like you are giving the roles which is high risk or medium risk. Okay, now emergency access management, for example, see, uh, if you get any kind of emergency problems, just assume you got your server is become down. Okay, now you are trying to solve this issue, but your team is cannot able to do so. So you are hiring on guy who is working somewhere like third party. So you are giving access to him to solve this issue. So you are giving some emergency access. You are giving emergency access to that guy to log in into the system and solve the issue in your SAP system. This is called emergency access management. We are also calling firefighter ID. Okay, I'll explain all the things in details in GRC. So temporary elevates access during emergencies. For example, allowing an IT admin temporarily access to fix urgent system errors. So again, last one is BRM, business role management, managing business friendly roles instead of technical ones. Okay, so we are assigning some roles to the management directors. So how we can assign those things? Okay, what is the benefit of SAP Security and GRC? Now you can see, protect the data, ensures confidential information stays safe. Regulatory compliance, we need to see, I told you, SOX compliance. In US they are following SOX compliance, right? So it should be as per the compliance. Reduce the fraud and errors, we can mitigate fraud and errors. Audit readiness, I mean, see, automatically tracking and quicker and cleaner audit result. What happen, like if you are following the rules and regulation, and if you are going as per the compliance, so audit can be make ready, and it will not take much more, and we cannot, they will not catch us while doing the editing. So operations efficiency, the operations whatever we do, it will go very smooth. Okay, so career insight is a question for you. SAP Security and GRC experts are among the most in demand consultant today, because every SAP product needs security and compliance expertise. I told you the reason, USA reason I given you. Okay, this is what I added you. Again, I'm going to tell about benefit of learning SAP Security and GRC with me. So whatever we done the discussion in the phone, I just added here. This is added for the candidates who are learning from me. Okay. So first of all, I'm providing you 3 months SAP lab access, fully practical and job oriented or training. Practical training I'm giving to you. Teaching in English, Urdu, Kannada, because I'm from Karnataka, I know Kannada. So provide a real-time business example to understand the concept. Provide a real-time work example by showing tickets or issues of our client which we are receiving while working with the client. And one point I will tell you here again. See, I cannot share my screen. I cannot take the screenshot because some kind of technology they are using. But I will show the real time. Don't worry about that. I'll show the real time how their tickets are coming, and how you need to solve, how you need to understand everything. I'll send you. Don't worry about that. Okay. Then discussing interview questions and answer once I finish particular topic. For example, if I finish user administration, I'll any topic in the user administration, then whatever the interview question the panel will ask you, I'll give that question and answer with real time example. With real time example, I'll give you. Okay, then teaching SAP Security Basics to Advanced, SAP GRC Access Control Basic to Advanced, provide a daily assignment, because see, so whenever I'm giving you the tickets or issues, you should take as those things as an assignment. You solve in your system. Okay, then providing you study material, like I'm providing you study material in the form of like configuration document, e-books, and many things are there. Providing you recorded videos once the session is over. Provide a contact number of the person to avail experience document. Suppose if you are want to get some kind of experience document, because some people is having gap. I know the person who is from what is Karnool. He's from Karnool. He's staying in Bangalore and he's working in EMC Square, but he's also having business to provide a experience document. I'll just give the number. I don't know about what is the process and all, but I'll give the number. You can talk to him and get the deal. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, help you to create professional CV. Definitely, I'll help you. Guide you to apply regular and remote jobs. See, you are getting regular job also. If you are getting regular job, that is also good. Also, you try for remote job also. Refer your resume to my SAP large community, because I'm having some community or friend circle to apply jobs in India as well as abroad. In abroad also, I'm having connections. I'll try you to refer you. Okay. So training fee, I'm going to charge 25,000 for one candidate. Online live training, 3 months SAP ECC GRC lab access. Step by step configuration notes I'm providing you to practice. You need not to go through the recorded videos. You just follow the SAP configuration notes. Sharing real time tickets topic wise. So these tickets are like topic wise. Okay. Then interview questions with real time example, that is also topic wise. Study material PDFs, ebooks, recorded videos. All are things I'm going to give you. Then training duration will be 45 to 60 days. So advance fee 70% of total payment and remaining after 20-25 days, as I told you. So whichever is earlier. Then see, this is important. I provide training in such a way that the candidate who are showing 5+ years of experience, 5+ in the sense any experience, 5+ years of experience can easily crack interview and easily manage his her real time environment. Because the people are telling, right, okay, I cannot manage a real time environment because I'm getting this. No, I will show you. In the sense, I will give you that confidence, that kind of training I'll give you. Definitely, whenever you are going to a system, easily you can solve those issues. You can handle your real time environment, not a problem. So I'll provide a value for your money, time, and effort you invest to make your career in SAP Security and GRC. This is what the value.